Where's mine? Your last. Okay, we're back. This is H.660 Conference Committee. Just actually, listen, we've looked through the proposal and we agree with everything. We have just one concern. And that is around the $1.2 million that for the recovery and the AM beds, medical beds, and the NAR level 3 and the addiction medical frequent. And here's our concern. We could put 1.2 million in, or we could split it and put 6 and 6 or whatever way of splitting it. Our concern is that the money go for some development of each type of bed, that one isn't left out because all the money's given over here, like tomorrow. We don't want it. So that's our concern. And we're kind of wordsmithing around a little bit using the $1.2 million that you have in, and obviously the way we have it, it's already wordsmith, but it doesn't have the money the way you might want to see it. So we're at, that's our conundrum.
So I'm wondering, in testimony from the health department, given the increase in that level 3.1 already on the treatment side of things, they did not present to us a increased need at this point in time for that. So you might have heard something different from providers.
Yeah, what do we have in terms of level 3.1 addiction beds?
So we certainly heard from Judge Rice. I never know whether it's Rice. That of course was before the beds that opened up in Virgins.
Right. That's what we're thinking about.
Right. Did you hear from Valley Vista or?
We did informally. We did not have formal testimony, but we did hear from Valley Vista, and that this would be helpful for them.
In recovery, Chad BJ and Serenity House would be the other three.
And Serenity Houses.
In the state.
And so, do you have a alternate proposal that could leave it at the 1.2, but guarantees that there's some resources to?
We've been trying to find that language. If you want to help us with it, that'd be great. Otherwise, having the split of 6 and 6 is one way to do it. The other way, Katie, what was the other language that we had thought about?
Here it is. We talked about 1.2 to the Department of Health for both the creation of new recovery beds and for opioid use disorder SAM beds. There was a mention of equitable distribution, but the struggle there was what exactly does equitable distribution mean?
I mean, certainly it was our intent that it would cover both, that they would just decide, well, we're going to spend it all on recovery residences. So if we can strengthen the language that indicates it's for both.
That would work. If the intent is to cover both, that's powerful. That's legislative intent. And then have language that says in.
Let's have and.
Yes.
To the Department for the creation of. How did you say both, Katie?
1.2 to the Department of Health for both the creation of new recovery in our beds and for OUD residential beds.
I think I should confer with my conferees, but conferees, would you be okay with that? Yeah. Fair enough. Yes, I think we're okay with that. That's my only question.
What was your answer?
Our yes. It would be
We're okay with that.
if we inserted both.
I'm gonna put the Department of Health on the spot.
Jane Livingston, Health Department. So I think that for the committee's consideration is what those funds are for 3.1. So we did just double our 3.1 capacity when we opened the Virgins facility with Valley Vista, which is awesome and was needed and is exciting. We're still watching those census numbers to see how it adjusts out.
Beside that, the language, if we have that language in there, would the Department of Health support funding for both of those?
I think it depends on what you mean. So Chad at Serenity House, right? Like they need some
Yeah.
capital improvements. They need some things that are problems that are not necessarily expanding beds. If
This
the
is
committee
beds.
is looking at expanding beds, right? I don't know if it would be enough, number one. And number two, when we opened Virgin's back up with Valley Vista, that was a facility that we had budgeted for already, right? They had closed the facility and it was in our budget to provide that level of treatment. If we continue to expand 3.1 beds, right, I just want to caution the committee that has a lot of other costs associated with it. It's not just here's the money to open it, which is what this money would be. It's then the match to treat the individuals there with Medicaid. And then it's also room and board, which we cannot fund with Medicaid and we have to fund out of general fund or block grant. So when the department is not opposed to potentially expanding 3.1 treatment, that is something that might need to happen. The two things that we need to do first is watch what's happening right now with the full census and just get our feet under us and see what the demand is. And then we would need to come back most likely with what the full budget impact of ongoing room and board, ongoing Medicaid rates are. And so I think it depends. If the committee's intent is that we support this really critical services and that we do some of the work that maybe is not funded by Medicaid, like facility
So
upkeep,
here's,
then we
I
can totally
hear
do that.
you. I know that the facility question is being debated in institutions. It's not what we're suggesting. We're talking about beds and treatment. And I think if we have this language in here with the intent, we also have an opportunity through the BAA process to look at this. Oh, right now there's a strong, there are folks who would like to have the funding go forward for both sets of beds.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, what has been the census because the Virgin's program that's relatively recent, that
Yeah.
expansion there.
Yeah.
What has been the census there?
They filled right up.
Mhm.
Which was awesome. That was what we were asking. It was the need that we had as a state. And, we're still working with them on system flow and some of the processes. And also there was pent up need for individuals. So it's not that, again, I do not want the committee to walk away with the idea that we might not need more. It is very possible that we do and will. And I might be back here 6 months begging you for more. But I think it needs a little time.
I hear what you're saying, though, that, you can spend money on development, but if you don't have operating funds, then it's not money well spent. So I guess I'm also questioning, so at Serenity House, is that the 3.1?
Nope, that's the 3.5. That's Chad. That's Recovery House.
Okay.
Even though it's treatment.
What is Chad's 3.1?
Grace House and McGee House.
Okay. And what's the occupancy at those?
They run around 60 to 70% full.
So the reason I asked is because they had testified, this was on a different need, but when we were talking about the recovery bed bill that we had that you sent up, they serve as a receiving when people have an issue and they need to get back into treatment for a short period of time and then transition back. And he'd said, we've never had to turn anybody away. So that to me indicated that they had some level of openings there and capacity. So I guess then if we still have open capacity, I'm willing to keep that at both. But if we have open capacity, what is driving the need to invest in more beds right now when we haven't identified?
Perhaps the fact that Virginia's is 100% full.
Right, which Chad is not.
Yeah, I know.
And they're both in the same county.
Both in Addison.
They're both in Addison.
Problem.
I thought it was in Rutland.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has one of the places in Addison County. Do you know?
No.
No, they're both in Rutland? Okay. So one's in Rutland, one is in Addison.
So, well, short of splitting the money up, I think having language that, says that both and, is important.
We've conferred and we're okay with both and. I just think we need to understand that it's a caveat. The department is saying that there's additional costs associated with this.
Understood.
We need to understand that.
No, I
The
understand.
operating costs are not here.
Well, and one of the problems with the opioid fund is that we don't want to have operating costs embedded in the fund because it is supposed to be getting the beds in place or the infrastructure.
Yes, I understand
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Senator Cooley,
I'll just reiterate, I like the construct that we had, and I would like to stick with that.
I want to think about it. Well, let's think about that part. Let us think about that and then we'll come back again. And we'll have our third number.
May I add something just briefly? What I'm hearing, it sounds like they're looking for assistance to just strengthen their existing infrastructure and capacity than necessarily expand. It's just to give that support. That's to be in regards to strengthening the next thing.
Yeah. I guess I do want to share that, we've come on board with your hireability, we've come on board with your public safety, we've come on board with quite a bit of your language. I think that
We'll consider that.
I think that the department's in the best place to determine.
We're
how
not
much
clearing
we
it
need
down.
each. Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just pointing out the places where we've stepped over the line to the side. That's all.
We appreciate it.
All
We
right.
appreciate it.
So, what do we have for next steps, Madam Chair?
I have a conference committee at 9:00 in the morning, but perhaps, and I've got a conference, I'm busy all afternoon, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be on for work.
At 3, there's
Yeah.
something like that.
It's a conflict.
I am being
Conference
asked
committee tomorrow
upstairs
at 9.
to finish up.
So do you think by 9:45 we could meet, or should we meet at 8:30? 8:30. That's the,
I'm not available at 8:30.
you're not available.
But you could meet without me if you're just finalizing a draft.
Yeah.
Okay, what, I guess preferentially, we could meet it.
I'm just guessing we'll be talking about some of the meatier things tomorrow.
No, I'm worried about that conference thing
Yeah.
going on. Could we try for 12?
You guys want to converse some more and then we'll step out and then we can come back in?
We could try that.
Let's try that. Let's go offline. I said to her, pressure.
Well, I'm getting pressure from upstairs.
I
Uh,
understand.